Many thanks, Laurent, and also special thanks to the organizers of Inhorgenta, one, for putting this together, and then two, in all honesty, having such interesting conversations. I think a lot of us have learned a lot so far. As Laurent mentioned, I represent the Natural Diamond Council, and today I would like to talk to you about how is it that we're bringing the diamond story to a new type of consumers. But before I start, I wanted to ask you, how many of you actually work with natural diamonds? Okay, great, that's perfect. So what you're going to get in the next 30 minutes or so is examples of campaigns that we've kicked off, and also examples of tools and resources that you can actually access whenever you would like to take your story forward to your consumers. But first things first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what is it that the Natural Diamond Council does, and also about this precious gemstone that we all love so much, and that's natural diamonds. So natural diamonds, in our opinion, is certainly one of the very few purchases that actually creates a long life endorphin rush, I would say, and enduring love. And that's a very, very special ability to have, which is why us at the Natural Diamond Council have as a main goal to make sure that these precious stones, natural diamonds, remain the aspirational choice in jewelry and an eternal symbol, I would say, for love, for life's most significant moments, to celebrate ourselves, celebrate friendship, celebrate love. At the core of our mission is certainly also supporting the natural diamond industry. That's you, the heritage, the communities that are actually part of the entire story of diamonds and that benefit. We're 10 million livelihoods that are being supported by the diamond industry, and that's a very, very important task to have. In addition to our marketing materials and our communication activities, we also provide marketing, promotional materials, education to brands, retailers, jewelers that would like to pass on this information. And for us, that's very important because helping them amplify the story of diamonds means that we can get to raise awareness for more consumers globally. Now, what you see here is something that is important to us, and it's a mission that we set out to do. And that is, we want to share why is it that natural diamonds are the right choice and what are the right reasons for which this is the right choice. Consumers nowadays, and we're part of that, we're being bombarded every single moment about significant information about the projects and the products that we're purchasing. So having such clear information is actually quite important. We've built an online platform, which is the go-to source for natural diamond inspiration. Our narrative certainly reflects modern values, so that natural diamonds are culturally and I would say economically relevant. We tell a global story because we're a brand agnostic organization. We have a brand agnostic approach and we're a not-for-profit. Puts us in an incredible position to be able to share insights and stories from across the industry and to create a global perspective, which otherwise would be difficult for just one brand to do. We have, and we partner a lot with organizations that maintain very high standards for the natural diamond industry, such as the World Diamond Council or the Responsible Jewelry Council. And what we do is that we complement these elements by bringing the story of natural diamonds to global audiences. This is our website, and together with an army of very well-respected writers, journalists, photographers, producers, we bring the stories of style, stories of inspiration, as well as stories of positive communication. This is an example of one of our magazines that we produce twice a year. So in addition to our online platform and our social media platforms, we also have the possibility through this magazine to keep on providing this inspiration to consumers. This is a bit of an overview. You can find us on all of the social media platforms, including Katerina's much, much loved Instagram. You will find us under the name Only Natural Diamonds. The only place where you will find us as Natural Diamond Council is on LinkedIn, where we have more of a business approach. And on the other social media accounts, we're targeting and discussing directly with consumers. Now, consumers. Who are these consumers? For us, the core audience is quite young, very independent, thank you so much, very much aware of their own persona, very much aware of their own brand. they seek uniqueness, they seek authenticity, and these elements need to be reflected in the products that they choose to buy. What we've also realized is that topics such as responsible sourcing and craftsmanship combine that story of authenticity and uniqueness that they are so much searching for. But there is also one caveat. We have been talking a lot about sustainability and sustainability positioning. Affordability still remains one of the critical factors in the decision-making process for jewelry. They do spend more than other generations, but they're also doing it in quite a pragmatic way. I guess they have things like the high cost of living to keep in mind. So they certainly want to make sure that they have very important choices that they need to make in their jewelry as well. This audience seeks personalization. You've seen a lot of, I would say, neutral as well as gender neutral offerings. But what is also important for them is that these brands do take a stand. And that we can see through one of the latest reports that we've put out. 70% of our global audience actually seeks stories in sustainability and ethical practices. Whilst this is not the criteria that makes them buy, this certainly gets to be the criteria why they decide to choose a certain product, a certain piece of jewelry that aligns with their persona and their brand as well. So they're empowered to choose the products that align with their identity. And whenever they want to make a purchase, they want to be quite confident. We have so many products out there available for us. You do go to sources, influencers, celebrities, influence them much more than for any other generation. And that's because they try to understand what are the choices of people that they trust and appreciate. So that for us is certainly a very compelling opportunity to align our values with their values, share the beautiful story that lie behind the natural diamond industry and diamonds themselves, as well as the beautiful creativity that gets them to represent the person that they would like and dress them up fully, adding cherries on top of the cake, I would say, and these are certainly pieces of jewelry. What I'll do now is that I'll take you through 3 different pieces, 3 different initiatives that we've kicked off. One tackles more the provenance side of things, telling the story behind natural diamonds. Second campaign that I will show you is focused much more on jewelry, on the aspiration, on the design of the pieces that consumers are searching for. And at the end, I'll share how is it that we can help educate our consumers about the beautiful gemstones that they are interested in buying. The first campaign is one that is very, very close to my heart. It was kicked off in the beginning of actually last year already. And it takes us from sunny München to the very, very cold Northwest Territories of Canada. In the subarctic region, I can definitely tell you that consumers don't have an idea that the 3rd largest diamond country in the world is actually Canada. We've gone, our team has been there in the Northwest Territories, and I have to say they have stories of freezing in minus 30 degrees, but certainly it's a unique place that we would like to help our consumers be introduced to. We want to invite our consumers to go home where some of the most beautiful, oldest diamonds in the world are actually recovered. At the same time, the Northwest Territories is a very, very unique place in terms of their local communities. And for that, for us, it was very important to be sure that we give them a voice and we let them share some of their, I would say, most sparkly neighbors that they could get. What I'll show you now is the quick ad that we have created from this campaign, and then I'll walk you a little bit through what you've seen. If we can put the volume up, please. Volume.
Canada's Northwest Territories. Here, in the wonder of Canada's Northwest Territories, nature unveils its most exquisite and rare treasure to those who seek it out. This beauty demands our responsibility to protect wildlife, to preserve the land, and to empower the cultures that have stewarded this magic for millennia. 3 billion years ago, elements of stars combined to form natural diamonds so pure and so real that to hold one is to touch the essence of time. Natural diamonds are real, rare, responsible.
So this is the 1-minute ad that our team has created following their trip to the Northwest Territories. We have, of course, versions that go down to 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and then 15. All these ads have been presented globally, online, billboards. You were able to see these ads. Primary market for us is the United States, followed closely by India and China with this promotion. In addition to that, we have also created a lot of materials. I was mentioning in the beginning of my talk that we do partner with a lot of brands, a lot of retailers. This is an example of an ad that we have created with one of our partners in the US, where we tell the story of the type of jewelry that they also have available, and then is important, of course, to the store itself. And then we combine that a bit more with a story that Lily, our brand ambassador, I don't know if you recognize, she's one of the absolutely gorgeous, lovely actresses, Emmy-nominated actresses that has basically immersed herself into discoveries, diamond discovery journeys. She's first visited Botswana, so now it's the second home for diamonds that she wanted to visit, and landed in the opposite cold climate of Canada. This is an example of billboard that we were also able to create. Here, Lily James is not featured, but you have more of the story of the store that they decided to choose, and then some key elements for them to look at. Now, I was mentioning that it's very important to also share the voices of the local communities where these diamonds are pretty much recovered. So what we've done for that, in addition to all these marketing materials that you've seen before, we wanted to provide consumers the opportunity to dive deeper into the story of diamonds. So we have a clip that we have created. It's been once shared with consumers and uploaded on key, of course, digital media outlets, where for 7 minutes, they can watch the whole story of what Lily James discovered in the Northwest Territories. This has also been broken down into small snippets, and tomorrow during one of the talks of our colleagues, Kevin, I think it's at 2:30 tomorrow, he will talk about his diamonds, he's Canadian, and he will show some of those videos. But there you will see some snippets of the ambassadors that we actually had the honor to discuss with in Canada. So if you'll allow, for 7 minutes, let's fly out, quickly teleport ourselves here from München into the Northwest Territories. Volume, please, as well.
So I wanted to come here because 2 years ago I went on the most incredible trip to Botswana with the Natural Diamond Council, learning about the diamond industry there, and I wanted to see the impact of natural diamonds in other places in the world. So came here to visit the communities and the people here, and it's been a real adventure, one that not many people get to go on, so I feel very grateful.
Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? I'm so good, cold.
So it was my first day meeting Kadri, who I've spent the last 4 days with. Kadri works at Diamonds to Canada, but she's also one of the youngest women to have been on the council for her people, and she's really passionate about engaging the youth in her community.
My name is Kadri Roselyn. I am from Dada. I am Yalonoi First Nation on Chief Jaiki's territories. So my mom, she actually worked at the mines my whole life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of the diamond mines are on our traditional territory, and that's where we go hunting and trapping. So it does directly affect us as a community and the First Nations. There are a lot of positive impacts as well.
You know, Kadri talked about the job opportunity, which means that people don't have to move away from their homes.
So when you hear people saying this has allowed me to stay in the North and raise families and contribute, that's a significant part of what the diamond mining industry has done for us. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That is incredible.
That was a good pick.
That was a good pick. I know a good diamond when I see one.
The job meant a lot to me. We've got our first home. I have great supports. I have children at home I can take care of now. it means a lot to be like staying in the north.
And it's the same thing as the 830E haul trucks that we're going to go approach. When I first started in 1998, one of my big things that I was scared of is I looked at the truck and I thought to myself, whoa, how am I going to change those tires?
I mean, how are you going to change those tires?
We got tire people for that.
You'd have to experience it for the 26 years that I've been in this role just to see the value.
There's so many of us employed, and that money rolls back into the communities or the city of Yellowknife. It's our future.
Hatchery in particular is so passionate about keeping the younger generation engaged with their traditions, and if they stay, that can continue to grow.
This is really surreal. It does feel like a webfish. Okay. I'm really drying my eyes.
Hatchery is beautiful inside and out, incredibly inspiring.
Shake hands. Yeah.
Like in our culture, like we always talk to the land. We have like a relationship with it where it's alive to us.
So Mason Elwood, been with De Beers Canada for 9 years, and I'm currently the environmental superintendent at the Gatchaqui mine.
We traveled along the ice roads looking for the caribou. Part of his role there is to make sure that any impact that the diamond mine has on the natural habitat is mitigated as much as possible. So basically the animals take precedent. It's their home first, and obviously the diamond mines there's only a finite amount of diamonds down there. Once they've got them out, the priority is to get the habitat back to, so as if when you come back in the future, you'll never know that the mine was there. Wow. So that was really fascinating to me.
You know, I really think natural diamonds are empowerment in a lot of ways, right? They really provide, a way for the natural resource of this landscape to give back to the people that are from here and have been here for a long time. And it's really an incredible opportunity to work in a unique, fantastic place and provide opportunity for folks living here to lead long and fulfilled lives.
At a certain point with the light, you couldn't see where the ice met the clouds, met the sky. It was completely mind-blowing. I mean, when the powdered snow kind of moves off in the wind and you just see this deep blue, thick, kind of cracked ice, it's not surprising when you see the beauty of the landscape here that these beautiful diamonds come from here. It makes sense.
I'm just worried I'm going to drop it.
There we go. Should I hold it? Okay, cool.
So this is a very special gift from the earth to the surface. These diamonds were formed way before the dinosaurs.
Wow.
Way back in time.
Were you saying this is kind of a volcanologist's dream? Like not everyone would get to hold something like this?
No way.
This is like a museum piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are really special things, right? People really need to understand the difference between natural diamonds versus synthetics.
Yeah.
It's night and day. Like you're buying a story.
Yeah.
Right?
And a miracle, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to give it back to you. I don't know, I might be the only one, but I think that diamonds are even more beautiful in this rough state. And perhaps it's because it feels like you're very lucky to see them like that, because it's a part of the process of a diamond being turned into a gem that not everyone has the privilege of getting to see. One of the stories I heard over and over again that is of most importance is that when there's transparency, communication, and agreements between the diamond industry and the people who live there, it can provide so much good. And the importance of the land and the connection to the land and your ancestry and protecting that, to me, is really, really powerful. My grandmother always wanted to see the Northern Lights. She never did in her lifetime, so I feel like this one thing really, that was really moving for me, you know.
When the Northern Lights show themselves to us, that's our ancestors there. Yeah. It's like they're dancing with us while we dance, yeah.
You know, diamonds are essentially just like mirrors reflecting the beauty around them. And these diamonds are just that, a direct reflection of these people, their land and their culture.
Thank you for teleporting yourselves differently in another world. I have to say our whole team was very humbled by the experience that they could actually have there. And there are a lot of funny stories. For example, did you notice there was a very beautiful big rough diamond on ice that was proper ice? Those are the ice roads that during winter time they become ice roads, and before that there are lakes. So I think a lot of you might know the diamonds are excellent conductors. So whilst my team was shooting that, they just saw the diamond starting to sink in the ice. And that's a pretty big diamond and a very rare one. So I can definitely say they will not forget that experience. We've recovered the diamond, of course. It might even travel to London in a few weeks' time. But it was it was a unique occasion to actually discover diamonds in their element, in a very different element than the common consumer might think. The next campaign I would like to show you is focused much more on jewelry, much more on lifestyle. And there you are going to see how we've, together with Lily, created an environment for consumers to be inspired in terms of their styling of their natural diamond jewelry. I'd like to introduce you to our 2025 jewelry campaign featuring Lily James, where you will see pretty much a very beautiful story of self-recognition, confidence, and self-expression. I'm going to play the 30 seconds clip that has been launched in the beginning of this year.
Did I fall in love with you, or just a picture that I drew? Pink and purple, red and blue, we faded black and white.
Shall I play that again? It seems to have frozen. Whilst they're fixing it, as you can see, it's a different approach, and it's certainly a material that we are using and sharing with our partners, retailers, brands, designers that would like to put this image forward and certainly share this with our consumer base.
Pink and purple, red and blue, we faded black and white.
Doesn't like it. I think they absolutely love the earrings, which I absolutely agree with them as well.
Did I fall?
One more time. Maybe we missed a moment of Lily discovering beautiful bracelets. If not, it's okay. We can just skip over this slide. Thank you. Right. And then I mentioned I have one last element. So you've seen two flagship campaigns of ours. One looked very much at the provenance story and telling the integrity story behind the natural diamond industry. Second was more on innovation, on products, on styling. Now there are a lot of questions that we've received from consumers, and we've certainly come out there, and in a few months, in a month's time, we're going to also announce a new education center that we are going to create, where a lot of incredibly important questions. We'll wait for the announcement. The Ausstellung of the diamonds. Does that work? How many of you have actually come across these reports in the past weeks? Thank you. So for all the geeks in the room, these are indeed the latest reports that we have created, where we want to look at various facets of the diamond industry and of diamonds. Diamonds of Canada is the first home of diamonds that we visited. The next one that will actually be launched in a couple of weeks' time is going to be Diamonds of Botswana. We looked at Diamond Facts, and the Diamond Facts is a report where we've tackled a lot of the myths that surround the industry and the stones themselves. So there we've prepared a lot of information for consumers as well. And the first one that you've seen there are basically the trends, the diamond trends for 2024, in terms of which are the shapes of the year, which are the key models of the year that we've seen being populated across the world. Examples of assets that you can use as well, so these are readily available for anyone online, are examples of pieces of quick information, quick snippets that we put out there on social media on specific topics of interest for them. This one, for example, tackles the impact that diamonds have in their countries, impact that they have in the local communities. The next video will look at what's the industry doing to actually reduce their carbon footprint and updating some of the latest pieces of information there. And the last one, we're also tackling points of generic questions that we have around the industry. This one is on certainly pricing and trends that they might not be able to have reached external information out there and reliable sources. So we're bringing these to them in a very, very easy and forward way. Now, what's important is to also go forth and look at other elements of inspiration for consumers. This is the latest book that we've just launched with journalist Marianne Faisal, which I also have here. What we've realized is that there haven't been actually books about the history of engagement rings. So Marianne took a long time to actually discover all this history and to bring this forward to consumers globally. And this copy is up for grabs to anyone here in the audience, and you will be the first European. Wait, you need to do something in order to get it. You will be the first person in Europe to receive it because this is hot off the printing press. So my question is, how old is the oldest diamond in the world? $1 billion. We have older. Very close, very close. I hear 3 million, I hear 4 million. Billion, 7 billion. It is 3.5 billion. Lucky for you, I have 2. So the oldest diamonds in the world, as I've also geekily shared this information with Laurent and the other way around, can be found in Canada. They have the youngest diamonds in the world as well as the oldest diamonds in the world. And these are very interesting pieces of information that give you an insight into the formation of the earth. Because as diamonds appear so deep within the earth, they end up telling us a lot of stories about our planet and Mother Nature, and that tells you a lot about how the entire tectonic plate there got developed. So these are some cool things. The gentlemen over here are going to hopefully get inspired through the engagement ring stories. And with that, I had 30 minutes to take you very quickly through some campaigns that we're doing. If you scan that QR code, you will go on our website where you will see much more of our communication and materials that we have out there, both for you as well as for your consumers. Feel free to use them, and if you have any specific questions, that's my email address. Please reach out, and I look forward to bringing the story of beautiful diamonds closer to our consumers. Thank you. Laurent, I saved some time for some questions.
Question for Raluca? Anybody over there? 2 questions even. We'll take 2 questions. It's okay.
Hello. I've been following you for a few years on social media, and I really love your story and the way you portray and work with transparency and mind-to-market stories. I was just wondering, I see from your from the campaigns that you do that you're working with De Beers. The Diamond Council, the Natural Diamond Council, as I understand it, is an independent organization?
Not for profit.
Okay. My question is then, do you also work with other non-profit organizations? I was recently had the fortune and the humbling experience of visiting Liberia with Diamonds for Peace. And we stayed with the diamond mining communities in their homes, and they are incredibly poor diamond mining communities. No running water, no electricity, whereas De Beers have quite a capital behind them. And it's a completely different story from the videos that you showed me today than what I experienced 6 months ago. So I was just wondering, are there also collaborations with other NGOs, like, for example, Diamonds for Peace?
We don't work with Diamonds for Peace, but I'd love to. If you want to put us in touch with them, that would be great. We work with a lot of organizations I mentioned earlier within the industry, World Diamond Council, Responsible Jewelry Council, Diamonds Do Good. You were mentioning some of the stories and important initiatives. Absolutely. So we want to spark a lot of the stories and certainly tell the integrity sort of and development commitment that we have within the industry.
Okay, and just one last question.
Yes, thank you. Regards from Helsinki, Finland. One question, that was a nice movie, very clear skies, healthy animals, etc. I was hoping that after we saw these big tires, we would see some real footage from the mines. How does the holes on the ground look like? But no, why not?
Why we haven't included these images in there?
Yeah.
You can find them online without a problem. Our mines, our colleagues, our system, the entire network, they all have photos, such photos. But we wanted to bring the story of the communities towards the consumers. So the communities is what you saw around there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raluca, for your very interesting talk. And I'm sure you'll be around for a few more minutes if other people have questions.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to source another book.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.